I had some people ask if I would share my fast finishers that I've written down. So I figured I would do that for you today. Hopefully some of these can help you. And I'm sure as I go along, I'll add more. I'll start with my ones that I started for younger ones. Oh, and at the end, if I come up with more, I'll do another video on more that I get. So, okay, I'm rambling. I've been up since like 3:30, so I'm a little tired. Okay, so for my young students, I usually do what's in the bag. And the best part of that is you can change it based on their lesson. My big thing with all of this is I like to make sure that even though it's the finisher, it kind of focuses on the content of what they were learning, because I think that's very important. So, I have a bag. Ooh, this is just one of the bags that I had around. And then let's say they were learning their letters, one of the young ones. You know, I would say, and then, you know, I say, what do you see? And they would say, oh, I see A. Hopefully they'd say, I see big A. Then you can extend it. What does A say? And then you do it again, and then they get it. So then you, and then they think it's great. You know, what do you see? And hopefully they get the big letter, small letter, and then you can extend it with, you know, what does A say? A says ah, ah, ah. So that takes a while. So if you just throw a couple, I threw, you know, or usually I get through like 6 letters, but it works. And they think it's so fun because that's funny, they try to look inside the bag. So that's what I do. I just threw some letters in there. And like I said, you can change it if they're working on animals. You can be like, oh, you can throw some stuffed animals in and, oh, what do you see? They would say frog, and you could even extend that with what color is the frog? And frog is green. And then you could change it to different objects. So anything that was going. So usually before my lesson, I'll grab a couple things and put them to the side just in case I need them. Another big thing with the little ones is songs. They love to sing. I don't love to sing. My husband and my children make fun of my singing, but these kids like it. So some of the big ones I go with are Bingo. They love that song. Wheels on the Bus, and because you can change up Wheels on the Bus and it can go on for a while. And then also The Ants Go Marching. I'm sure you remember that one. And then I'll use my mini cam, which I'm using my regular camera now, so I can't show you. And then I'll put little ants on, and then I'll keep adding them. And they're like, oh, wow. And then Bingo, I can put a dog up. So mini cam comes in handy with that. So they like the songs too. And then also books. Books are huge. I have lots of them, and like I do with the letters and things, I'll pull out 1 or 2 books that kind of go with the lesson, so if I need them. So, you know, I have The Baker, Little Things. I have When Grandpa Was a Boy, when they talk about family. I have Pets at School. Super Wide, anybody remembers this? You know, that show? Super Wide book. This is a good one. Clifford. These were all books my kids had. And this is great. This has letters and numbers in it. So we can go through and I can choose a letter. So if they did like letter S, and then we could, you know, name all the things that they see. Focus, okay, on the page. So that is one I do with the little ones. They tend to not finish fast, or as fast as my older ones, but just in case you need a couple. And then my middle and advanced, I kind of can interchange some of them. depending on what level they really are. Another one for them is books. So the girls, luckily I love these books too, and my daughter has a ton of them. They're the fairy books, and I think like 6 of them. So I'll read the fairy book, and they're great pictures and they're fun. And those aren't ones that they so much could read. So if they are high enough and they kind of want to read one, you could pull out a book that they could read and hold it up for them. Dr. Seuss is a big one. My whole classroom was Dr. Seuss. So I have pretty much every book of his. So that's a good one to put up for them. And they love to read that stuff too. Let me look at my thing. Okay. Also, at the very last slide, you can have them write their vocabulary words. I know this is simple, but sometimes they can read it, but sometimes I want to make sure that they can actually write the word. If they need help, you could, put lines and have them fill it in, or start to fill it in for them and ask what letter is missing, and they can fill in the missing letter. And then after they do that, I'll have them make sentences with those words and make sure that they understand what that word is and be able to use it in context. Another fun one is if they're doing shapes or different kinds of objects, I'll do a race with them and say, we will go find a circle. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. And then I'll leave. And then here, I have a circle right here. So then we'll come back and say, I found a circle. What did you find? And then they'll hold theirs up. I found a, and then it's your turn, and they'll say, go find a circle. And then we'll go, and they think it's so fun. They just laugh. So that's a good one, and it takes a little bit of time, but it's also focusing on what they learned. So, and if it's an object, you can, if it's reasonable, they can go find, if they did animals, go find whatever, or you go find an animal. Pictionary. Pictionary is a fun one. I mean, in any aspect. So Pictionary with some of their words from the lessons. I do it on their last screen, their blank screen, but you can do it on a whiteboard. I have a monster whiteboard for the boys, and then I have this one that I usually use with the girls. So you could do it on there, but I tend to do it on the last page. They love that one, and usually I'll draw first, and then they get the idea, and then they'll draw something. And they think it's so funny when I can't guess it. Another one is word ladder, which is big when they're learning like the Bossy E rule and things. So once again, I'll write it on theirs, but I'll do it here. So we'll start with the word, and then I'll have them read cake. Cake. So then I change the C, and I'll do bake. And I'll say, now you change a letter. So then they'll go, and they get it now. They'll cross off a letter, and they'll change it. So it could be baked. And so then we say the letters. They think that one's fun too. And it helps to see that they understand the rules. Big one, unscramble their vocabulary words. So if they had a vocabulary word of follow, you could do F-O-L-L-O-W, and you could do, and then like I said, I do it on their last screen, but then you could say, what word is it? And so then they'll sometimes, So if they need a hint, I'll just write the first letter for them. Oh, can you see it without the glare? and then they get it, and then they have to write the words. So it's just a little bit more advanced way for them to write their vocabulary words and see if they know how to spell them. What's next? Okay, for more of the advanced ones too, is we'll do hangman, which once again, I'll write the hangman on their last slide, and I'll put the dashes, and you will use vocabulary not only from that lesson, but you'll know vocabulary from previous lessons. So I'll use ones from past, so they have to think about what they've already learned. They like that one too. Also, what's in the bag? You could do what's in the bag with them. Just usually I'll put something, and instead of hold it up and they say what it is, they have to ask me questions. So I'll say, something in the bag. And so I put it and I go, what is it? You ask questions. So they'll say, is it? And then if they don't get that, you can kind of prompt them with things to ask. That one I got from Nancy Taylor, so she's good too. You gotta look at her videos. That was a good one with her. Sometimes they have to be kind of more advanced to understand the directions, but they get it. As long as you model, they get it. And then, with my Minicam, I created 5 just little circles that have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'll put them above my head, and I'll say, you pick one. So then they get 3. So then I will have already written beforehand from looking at the lesson, different questions about, or conversation starters too, from the lesson. So if they were doing hobbies, they would say 3. So then and then the question, I would say, number 3, okay, and then I would put number 3's question up. I don't know, what hobbies do you like to do? And then they'll say, okay, what, and answer, and what indoor hobbies, what outdoor hobbies. So, and then you could choose the next number. So that's another one, and that gets them, feel like they chose what they're doing, but you've already created the questions for them. So that is what I have right now that has been working. I know I'll come up with more, or find some new ideas. If I do, then I will make another video with those if they're helpful. I hope they are. I've looked all these up from the years and kind of see what works. I did some other ones and they were a big fail. Too hard to explain or too easy. So I took those off the list. So you just have to find what works with your students. I hope you guys have a great week of teaching, and when I have some more to tell you, I'll make another video. Have a great day. Bye.